I see JC's on. Welcome, JC.
Hey, JC, what's up?
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful. Where are you out of?
I'm in Syosset, Long Island.
Nice, nice. Are you wholesaling there?
I am trying to.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about wholesaling and then answer any questions that anyone might have. It don't matter. It might be something that you need help on right now, or just some questions that you might have.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Eddie, what's happening?
Host. You're the host.
All right, man. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Good.
How'd you like John Graham?
I loved it. I think that was one of the best meetings you guys ever did.
100%. Me too. He's a killer. He's great. Yep. I saw him last night actually at the Maupin meetup.
Okay.
Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah, I agree with Eddie. That was one of the best events.
So we'll get started in a minute. Maybe we'll get a few more people on. Would be nice. But in the meantime, JC or Eddie or anyone, I guess I gotta answer some questions. You got anything going on right now that you need help on?
I haven't started yet. I'm just learning.
Okay. So where are you at in your learning process? Like, what are you doing?
I've been attending meetups
Mm-hmm.
for about the past year just to get a feel of it, to see what part of it that might be a great fit for me. And came to a conclusion of be wholesaling and just looking at the different apps, what the process is, what my strategy will be, other than I'm told driving for dollars is the best way. I just find that it seems cumbersome. There has to be a better way.
Okay. Have you tried it? Have you done it yet?
I've done a little bit. I didn't know where to take it until I went to a recent meeting last week that had a clear understanding, because the meetings were kind of general. I guess they just want people to bring them deals and things of that nature. I just didn't know from the meetings I went to whether the trust factor, the process wasn't clear, what would be possible deals they would look at, what resources. It wasn't really clear until the last meeting that I went to last week. And he mentioned what deals he would be interested in, what he would not be interested in, and that he would do, I forget the name, but I think it's called JV.
Yeah, a JV agreement between
right.
you. Yeah.
And that would do a 50-50 split. So he was a lot more clear. I think also probably I'm more confident now.
Okay.
That I was able to gather that information. So
is he buying it himself, or he's going to help you sell it?
He's a Long Island investor.
Mm-hmm.
For many years. He has a YouTube channel, I guess like most people, and he has these meetups and people bring him deals. And he brought one of his students who bought his course, and this is the third deal that he brought in. He looks like, I don't know him personally, but he looks like a very young person that probably graduated school and looking for his niche, and he took his course and he's bringing him deals.
What's the guy that has his own YouTube channel? I might know him.
His name is Michael Pinter.
It sounds familiar. Michael Pinter.
I have to look his, I don't follow him on YouTube yet.
Yeah, I see him, Michael Pinter. I don't know him, but yeah, so here's a couple ideas. When you go to these meetups, one, and you want to keep it organized too. You know, I wish I would have kept it organized at the first meetups that I went to. But anyway, you're looking in the crowd of who's the buyers, okay? Who's looking for deals, and you want to reach out to them. I don't even think you need a business card. I don't have any. I would rather get their information.
Right.
Okay, so you get their card or you talk to them, get their information and email, cell phone and name, and kind of figure out where their buy box is, what they're looking for. Meaning, are they looking for rentals? Are they looking to flip houses? It's all good information. What areas don't you like? What areas do you like? You know, you can't they're looking for good deals. So, and so that's number one. That's what you're looking for. Number two, you're looking for, you got that guy, Michael Pinter. He'll go 50-50 with you. You know, as long as you have a JV agreement, he's pretty a big guy, like as in, it sounds like he's well known and he's in the business. So he probably, I would say it's a good chance he's not gonna screw you over. Okay. And you try to learn, you know, maybe you get a hot deal and you don't know what to do on that hot deal. You could reach out to him and he could coach you through it. He can get the customer on the phone on a 3-way call. You just put your phone on mute and listen to him. Okay, let him do his thing. And then, you know, because you're not going to learn it all at once. It's one step at a time, one action step at a time. Just like, I don't know if you listen to Wholesaling Inc. on a podcast. It's a really good podcast. They always say their motto is fail forward. So, you know, one step at a time, you're going to fail forward, keep moving forward. You're going to learn, you're going to fail, but it's okay. All right. So that's what, and then you might find some other wholesalers that might be doing it like for a couple of years and they're doing some deals. You might want to, you know, talk to them. Maybe you guys could, you know, make phone calls together so you can listen to them, they can listen to you, and you guys can help each other, you know, things like that. Driving for dollars is a good way, but probably one of the cheapest ways of doing it. It's a really good way of doing it.
It is, okay.
Yeah, it is. So do you, have you been on any appointments yet or any talking to any sellers yet?
I have not.
Okay, so yeah, so talking to someone with a little more experience than you and asking them if you could go on an appointment with them, you'd let them know I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything. I'm there to soak it all in and listen and see how you do things. Now, you could go with 10 different wholesalers and they're going to do it 10 different ways. Oh, just because they do it that way doesn't mean it's right or wrong or it's the way you're going to do it. You got to make it natural for yourself. Okay. So to give you an idea, with me, when I go, you know, I make an appointment on the phone and, you know, I get all the information. It sounds like it might be a good deal. The guy's motivated. So what are you looking for when you're making a phone call, when you're making a lead? Like you call a abandoned house, or no, you find the owner, you find out, you drive him for dollars and you find the owner. Okay. You could do it a step further. When you get experience, you just don't write it down. You go knock on the door with a letter. Okay. You got a little letter in your hand. It says that you buy houses, you pay in any situation, no commission, nothing out of your pocket. I'll make it easy for you type of letter, right? If you're looking to sell, call me, I can help you. Boom. You have that letter in your hand, you knock on the door. If no one answers it, you just leave the letter and you write the address and you skip trace it. You find the person. Okay. if they do answer the door, you tell them, say, hi, how you doing? You know, I'll say, my name's Todd. You know, I'm looking to buy another property, one, maybe two in this area. And I was just, driving by and I thought maybe, just seeing if you would you ever considered an offer or considered selling your house, see what they say.
Okay,
You cannot force people to sell their house, right? There's a
right.
reason why you think they might want to sell because the house is beat up. It might be a rental property. It needs some repairs, whatever. If it's a rental, you could, in the tenant answers, you tell them who you are. You're looking to buy properties in the area. And are you looking to sell? They're going to say, no, I rent. Okay, awesome. How's your landlord? And you got a good landlord? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. And if they do, you say, well, we're buying houses and we clean them up, we make them nice, and we'd love for you to stay and we'll be a good landlord for you. Do you have the landlord's name and phone number? You can always ask, right? And then you become friends with them. If you're talking to the owner, or even before you leave, you can always say, well, you can look around the neighborhood, the block, like across the street. And let's say someone says, no, I'm not looking to sell. Okay, maybe not now, but what about in the next 3 to 6 months? No, maybe in 3 months or maybe in 6 months. I'm not sure. Say, great. Well, would it be okay if I follow back up with you in 6 months to see how because I want to make sure I'm in front of you when you're ready to sell. I know you don't want to sell now. You explained that. And, we can't force anyone to sell anyway, and I just want to make sure I'm the first person you call. And here's my letter, blah, 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 right?
Okay.
And what's your name, ma'am? Oh, nice to meet you. I appreciate it. Would it be okay if I reached back out to you? Instead of knocking on the door, what if I just give you a quick call and say, hi, how you doing? You thought about selling? Would that be okay? Boom. Yes. All right. Get their name and number. Okay. If they don't want to sell, say, no, we're not looking to sell. Okay. Well, do you know any neighbors or any houses around here that, might be renters and you think, I might be able to try to reach the owner and try to buy the house from them. Maybe they want to sell. Any problem houses around here? Okay. And see what they say. Sometimes they might say, yeah, there's right across the street. They've been in and out. They're a pain in my butt. Police are over there all the time, blah, blah, blah. You get that information, okay? And then let's say no one answers the door and you drop off a letter, or let's say you don't even knock on the door, you just want to get names and numbers. Then you could, from there, there's a ways you could skip trace for free, all right? Or for real cheap. One's called Ben Verified that costs like $20 a month, and you can skip trace people through them with their address, if you happen to know their name, things like that. So that's how you could get some phone numbers and things like that. You could call them up, and I could tell you the way a lot of people teach to make phone calls. There's so many ways to make phone calls. Okay. So I always here's one way that people tell you, where you say, oh, hi, how you doing? My name's Todd. I know this call's out of the blue, but I was calling regarding your property at 1234 Main Street, and I'm looking to buy another property here, probably the next 3-4 weeks, something like that. And I was just wondering if you'd consider a good cash offer on the property. That's it. They say yes, no, maybe. How'd you get my number? How'd you get my name? Things like that, right? How'd you get my name, or how'd you get my number? You know what? It is free information. I have my office gets it for me, and they send it to me, and I make phone calls, and then just get off the subject from there. And that's why I was reaching out. I was just wondering if you know, if I could make an offer that works well for you, works well for me, and close it fast, if that's something that you would consider. Okay. You kind of like that. So, you know, so it's just practice, and every call is going to be a little bit different, you know, things like that. So, so that's one way you can make a call. Another one is what I like doing now on my phone calls is they answer the phone, ring, ring. They answer the phone. I say, "Hi, I'm Todd Vernon. I'm trying to find Mr. Webb. I was hoping he might be able to help me out." And then I stop. And then maybe Mr. Webb or Mrs. Webb answers, and he goes, and, you know, they might say, they'll say a few different things. They'll say, "This is Mr. Webb. Who are you? Okay, what are you calling about?" And you say, "Well, Mr. Webb, you don't know me, but I noticed that the property at 564 Glendale in Detroit, it looked like it might be vacant. And, you know, I'm looking for another property. Have you ever considered selling this property or any other that you might have?" Boom. Then the conversation begins. Okay. Or I might say, "Mr. Webb, you don't know me, but I noticed that the property at 564 Glen Street in Detroit, it appears that you are the owner. I'm looking for another property. Have you ever considered selling this property or any other properties you have?" The reason I put "or any other properties you have" is that even if they don't have any other properties, it makes them feel they might be a big an investor, you know. You know, it's just like a trick on words in a way. All right. And or you could say, "Mr. Webb, you don't know me, but I noticed that the property at 564 Glen Street in Detroit, I'm not sure if this was a rental property or if it's vacant. You know, I'm looking, you know, for another property. Have you ever considered selling this property or any other properties you may have?" That's how simple it is. Like I said before, then the conversation begins. They could say, "No, well, I don't know how much you'd offer," you know, whatever they might say. Okay, well, you know what, if I may, let me just ask you, you know, a few questions, and then I could kind of see where I'm at and see if I can make you happy. And then I don't even wait. I just say, "Now this property there on Webb, is it a vacant house, or do you live there? Is it rented?" There's 3 lines right there. Is it vacant? Is it rented? Or do you live there? So if they say if it's a rental, then I get into the rental information. Example on that. Okay. A rental information is, well, is it and he says, "No, it's a rental." Okay. And your tenant there, how long's your tenant been there? "Oh, they've been there about a couple of years." Are they good tenants? Are they paying you well through COVID and everything else? Because I know I had a lot of problems. "No, they're not very good." "Are they up to date now?" "No, they're not." Or "Yes, they are." Whatever. Okay. Do they want to stay if you sell it? Have they thought about telling you, have they told you that they wanted to find another place? "No, I think they want to stay." Okay. What are they paying per month? $800. Okay, $800. I see. Now this property here, or do they pay the utilities? Are you paying the water? You know, you want to kind of get that information. Perfect. You got a lot of the tenant information. Now you go into the property. Is this a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? It's a 3-bedroom. Oh, terrific. Any recent updates that you've done in the last, you know, year or two? Not really. Well, what's the condition of the roof? Now the main things. Are the windows wood? Are they vinyl? Boom. You start just asking some questions. How about your furnace? Is it an older furnace? Is it good? Is it newer? Okay, perfect. What about the electrical? Is it circuit breakers? Is it fuses? Have you updated since you owned it? Boom. So you're asking all these questions about the house. And so the three things you're trying to get or four things when you are qualifying to see if it's a lead or not, a good lead, is one is motivation. Are they motivated to sell? If they're not motivated to sell, you're not going to buy it for a discount. Okay. They just want to hear an offer because you called them. We don't make offers because we call them. They got to be motivated to sell. Their timeline to sell. When do they want to sell? If they want to sell in 12 months, then you're going to follow up with them every couple months. Their timeline, the condition of the property. That's why you ask all those questions, and the price. So you're trying to get the price out of them, right? Those are the four things. If you get three of the four, the price is the most important, then you would make a lead to go talk to them or to do more homework on it and call them back if you want to be a virtual wholesaler. Okay, so any questions so far, JC? Or Eddie?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the rental side. That's the
I
rental.
got a question.
Yeah,
I
Eddie.
got a question for you, Todd, on what you just said. You said that if they say, I want to call in 12 months, you follow up every couple of months. Now, when you follow up with them every couple of months, what are you saying since they told you to call them in 12?
Yeah. So if they say, well, I'm going to sell in 12 months, you say, okay, Mr. Webb, I understand that completely, 100%. Is it okay if I follow up with you? I'll probably keep it on my list, maybe every few months or something like that. Would that be okay? Just to see how you're doing. We know things change. Even though you say 12 months, it might be 2 years, or something might happen in a few months from now, and you might be ready to sell. And I just want to make sure I'm there, so I could, make this happen for you, figure this out with you. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say that's fine.
Okay. All right.
And,
Yeah.
JC, I put a link on there for you. It's the very first link on the page. It's to the YouTube channel. There's a ton of really short videos from Todd. They might be 2 or 3 minute videos telling somebody that's new to the business how to get going and how to tackle different items.
Thank you. The first link?
Yeah, it'll say YouTube channel. Yeah, educational videos. Yep, the first link on the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd.
And
Yes, sir.
Todd just had a guy.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Eddie.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Todd just had a speaker that he brought into our group. His name was John Graham. I put that link on the site too. That's an incredible thing to listen to. Even if you're brand new in the business, it just gives you it. He makes it really clear what you got to do to really make some serious money. So,
Hey, Todd, it's ironic that you mentioned that situation. What do they say if they, what do you do if they say that, call me in 12 months? Because I literally just had that situation where the lady says, I'm going to be looking to sell, but call me in January. Now, I didn't think to ask her, can I keep in contact with you every couple of months? So
Yeah.
when I follow up with her in a couple of months, what would you say on that call, since I didn't, clear it with her in the beginning to follow up with her in just a couple of months since she said 6?
Right. So, yeah, I would just call her and say, hey, hi, Mrs. Jones, it's Eddie. That probably caught you at a bad time. That's a new thing that I say with people that know me. Every time I call them, I always say, just like this. I learned this from somebody. I always learn everything I'm telling you. I learned it from someone at one time. I don't make this stuff up. I always say, probably caught you at a bad time. So if I call you Eddie and, we had some discussions before, I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Eddie, this is Todd. Probably caught you at a bad time.
No, go ahead.
Right, exactly. Or if they because you don't want to talk to someone that is at work or doing something, or they might say, no, I'm just picked up my friend. We just got done with the dentist appointment and he's in the car. I could talk. Well, I don't want to talk to you when your friend's there and you're in the car driving and you don't have, you can't concentrate. I said, no, sir, I want you to concentrate on driving. I'm going to call you back. When will you be home? Oh, you could call me today or tomorrow. Okay. Does 10 o'clock or 12 noon work better for you? I always give them two choices. No, I'll be at work. Okay. When you get home from work, what about 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock tomorrow? You know what I'm seeing? See what I'm doing? All right.
Yep.
They're already talking to you. They don't realize. But with her, you say, probably caught you at a bad time. She goes, no, 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 no. I'm good. Okay. Well, I talked to you. Man, I don't even remember. It feels like so long ago. And it was regarding your property there on Webb Street. And I know you're thinking about selling. How you doing? Well, I told you January. Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. I talked to so many people, man. I'm sorry about that. January. Well, you know what? I'll make a note on here. You said January. Would it be okay if I call you back in a few months from now just to say hi, make sure you're good, okay? If there's anything I can help you protect, regarding anything regarding real estate, I can, I'm always there for you. Would that be all right? She'll say yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. If it's okay, I want to run a situation past you, and you can tell me how you would handle it. I did a call actually it was yesterday. I did a call just yesterday, where I went out to see the house. The guy had called off of one of the signs, and it was in Brightmoor. And just in case there's any people not in the Detroit area on the call, Brightmoor is a really economically disadvantaged area. Houses don't sell for a whole lot. So, but I went and looked at it.
That's why I grew up in
Don't
Brightmoor.
need to be talking about your own neighborhood, man.
Right.
Anyway, the house was in Brightmoor. As I'm driving down, approaching the street, approaching his house, I see that, I don't know, there's maybe 3-4 abandoned houses on his street. His house is right next to one. There's another one right behind him, and it's a frame house, and the paint is peeling off all the way around the house. I go inside. It's been stripped down to the bare studs, so it needs everything, including a floor. And when I say including a floor, I mean there's holes big enough to drop a basketball in some spots.
This is the house. This is the guy's house in Brightmoor?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I tell him, and I had asked him, I said, well, what do you want for it? He said, you make me an offer. So I looked at it and I just told him, I said, we buy them to make a profit, and, we'd have to put so much money into this house that when we sold it, we wouldn't be able to make a profit on it. So really, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. And he thanked me for it, thanked me for my time, but I just wanted to see, would you have done anything different?
Yeah. Everything you're explaining to me. Yeah. So usually in Brightmoor, if it's halfway decent, I mean, this guy doesn't live in this house, does he?
You know what? I don't know, because there was a car in the garage, and I saw a bed in the house. So I don't know. I asked him what was his plan when he bought it. He said his plan was to fix it up and either try to sell it or to rent it out. But I mean, there was a bed there in the house, so it looked like somebody was staying there.
So I would have asked him in the conversation if someone's living here. Okay. And then I live here, or no, or whatever. And then do you think if you would have got that house for $1,000, you could have sold it and sold it for 2 or more?
I assume it's possible, but I mean, right next to a board up on another one behind it, I assume it's possible, though. Anything's possible, I suppose.
Right. Well, I would have said, here's what I would have said to him. Here's Mr. Jones, for me to buy this, I'm getting houses in this condition. Actually, I get them from the city pretty much for free. They might cost me $500, something like that. I have other investors that I deal with. They actually do the work themselves, so they don't spend as much money as I do. And, they call me all the time because they know I come across a lot of houses. I can't buy them all myself. And, they probably would offer you something around $1,000, $1,200, something like that. Is that anything you would consider? Okay. They say, man, I just want to get rid of this house. That sounds good. All right. All right. Then I could write this thing up for $1,200, but I'm going to need to get access and show these, these investors. I got a handful that I could talk to, and then I could meet them out here and show it to them, and which won't be a problem. And I'll work on getting you that $1,200. We'll pay all closing costs. You know that. I already told you that. And the only thing that will come out of that $1,200 would be any taxes or water, things like that. Okay, boom. You write it up for $1,200. You show people, no one wants it. You're not the guy that's supposed to be buying it. You could just go back to them and say, listen, I don't know. It just looks like, the prices of lumber nowadays, and I don't know what their problem is. They're just a little scared right now, and no one wanted to buy it. And you just gracefully, tell them I did my best. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's an option. Eventually you're going to get to the point, because I used to work all kinds of junk deals. I call those junk deals. I kind of liked it, but you get to a point where you stop working those junk deals, because those are the ones that take all the time up for you, and you don't make any money, or you make money, but not a lot of money. So you could make more money concentrating on the better deals and the bigger deals.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so all right, so let's go back one last time. So we talked about rentals. Now, if we go to the guy and say, Mr. Webb, you don't know me, but I noticed that your property at 14564 Webb in Detroit, I'm not sure if it's a rental property or vacant. I'm looking for another property. Have you ever considered selling this property or any other properties you might have? Boom. They say yes, and we're back into, is it a rental? Do you live in it, or is it vacant? We already talked about if it's a rental. If he lives in it, you say, great. Well, let me ask you a few questions and I'm going to see how I can help you. And then now you're going to get into the condition of the house, why he wants to move, where he's going to move to, how long he needs to move, things like that. Now, if it's vacant, you could ask him, okay, well, how long has it been vacant? Is the furnace there? Is the hot water tank? What kind of condition is it in? Anytime someone says, the back door is open, it's a complete mess. Everything needs to be done. Okay. If the back door is open, you could go by anytime you want and look at it. Well, the back door is open. It needs everything. So but how long is, well, my tenant just moved out. Say, okay, how did they leave it? Well, not that great. Okay, I got you, but they're living there. I bet you it's okay. How can, and then you start talking to them about that. So that's how you do it. If it sounds like, you're getting everything, all the information you need, then I always get into the price of it. Say, what are you looking, what are you hoping to get? And then be quiet. The next person that talks loses. What are you hoping to get? Okay. They might tell you a price, and then you could be quiet. Like Eddie, if you said, I want 40,000, you could say, don't say anything. Just say, be quiet. Is that the best you could do? Okay. If I was face to face with them at the house and someone said 40,000, I would just look, I'd be quiet, and I would say, man, I'd shake my head. I was thinking half that. So you go, I was thinking half that. And then see what they say from there. Okay. And then they'll either say, I had people say, man, if you could do 20,000, I'll take it. Right. Or they might say, no, I can't let it go for anything less than 30. Well, you just saved another 10 grand. You say, well, 30, I think we're getting closer. I'm not sure. And then I would talk to him about something else, something about the house. And then I would come in and say, look, if I could come up a little bit, you come down a little bit. I know you're right at 20, 25,000, 30,000, somewhere in there. What if I could do like 23, 1,000, would that work? You know, boom, now you're negotiating, you lock it up, you already know what you think you could sell it for, and then you get it going. So that's pretty much it. All right, so, all right, well, let me go over one thing since we're almost done. I'm gonna share my screen here, and it's like 10 reasons wholesalers fail, okay? Can you see my screen, guys and gals?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so here's something I had, have no idea where I got it from. But anyways, I had this. So 10 reasons a wholesaler might fail. One is inconsistent marketing, okay? If you're gonna mail postcards, letters, direct mail, or whatever you do, if you're gonna drive for dollars, you gotta put a system around it and you gotta do it no matter what, okay? Doesn't matter if it's direct mail, cold calling, bandit signs, Facebook ads. You need to be marketing every week, even on the holidays. And I could tell you, a lot of people take off December or close to the holidays. That's when you need to push, because if you want to have a big next year, you push in December while everyone's on vacation, and you're gonna have a big January, and it's just gonna snowball into a great year. Okay. And also journal every day. Even if it, like you said, even if it's just a sentence, a paragraph, something like that. All right. You could journal about, what I do is I like to journal about what I did the day prior. Okay. Kind of go through my day prior, write down everything. I could write a page, you know, not just business wise, but personal wise, good and bad. You know, you should write that in there. One day when you die and your family might get mad at me because they see what I wrote in there. Not enough marketing, go broke marketing, go big. All right. I say that out loud, and don't listen to me. I don't believe that, especially if you're new. You know, there's other ways of marketing. So I think that is an old way back in the day, because direct mail is not what I knew. People that were spending 40 to 50 grand a month on direct mail. That was their main source of business, and they went broke because they went big. All right, and those guys are not direct mailing. You know, sometimes you got to change, you got to shift. And I'm not saying don't do direct marketing or direct mail, but be careful. You got to make sure you test it. Okay. I do believe on this one, pick one marketing channel, you know, dominate it. And then once you dominate it, then you could delegate it to somebody else and create systems around it, and then go to the next marketing channel. Okay. So if you want to be driving for dollars, dominate it. Go on Saturdays or Sundays or at nighttime, or, you know, or early in the morning, and work these areas, get the names and numbers, get a system around it. What do you do when you get the names and numbers? Then you skip trace it. And then when do you call? I'm going to call between these hours every single day, 4 hours a day. So put a system around it. Once you do that, then you could say, all right, I'm going to still drive for dollars early in the morning, and then I'm going to put up some bandit signs. Okay. And stuff like that. Assume motivation. What does that mean? You don't wait for the seller to convince you that they are motivated. Just assume they're motivated. If not, they're going to let you know they're not. Doesn't matter what they say. Treat them as if they're a motivated seller. Okay. So you don't want to beg them. You're not going to force someone to sell their house. Okay. But if you're nice to them and they like you, they're going to open up and they're going to tell you why they you know, what their problems are, and you could try to be the problem solver for them, okay? Wholesalers fail because they never get out of the education mode, the learning mode. And JC, you've been educated and learning so much, you probably know way more than you think. So you remember, you got to fail forward. So that education mode, learning mode, you got to now take some action, okay? You need to
Agreed.
take, number A is, or letter A is, you need to take massive imperfect action. It's not going to be perfect, but who cares? You know, I could make a phone call to a seller and I could have a script in front of me and screw up that script. And the seller doesn't know I screwed up that script. You know, the seller doesn't know I screwed up that script. So, you know, so that's what I'm trying to say there. And then you don't worry about looking foolish. Who cares? Okay, and with that, start learning and start earning some money. Don't make assumption of what sellers are going to say. Never make the assumption for them, like why do they want to sell? Why would they sell it at that price? You know, don't worry about that. Do not wait. Nothing can mess up a motivated seller deal. Nothing can kill a deal, but one thing, you can lose a deal, you know, so you want to take action. There's a sense of urgency. You want to call them back immediately. When you tell them you're going to call them, you got to make sure you call them, okay? The moment you have an opportunity to meet with a seller or put a property under contract, you want to put that property under contract. While you're, let's see, while you're wasting time figuring out the ARV or whatever, or someone else has already driven to the house, met with the seller, built rapport, and put the house under contract. So there's no such thing as time management. Instead of time management, we call it priority management, okay? Speed of implementation, sense of urgency. Wholesalers fail because they have too small of a buyer's list. You need to get a big fat buyer's list. Is very, very important. And you know, start reading every day. Something I wasn't doing was reading physically. I was listening to podcasts and listening to books, but you should read, even if you're reading 10 minutes out loud per day. It has helped me a lot, as in just speaking and pronouncing words and stuff like that. And again, I know you heard this before, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So start spending time with positive, upbeat, successful people that are at where you want to be. All right. The people that are in the destination you want to be at, and the changes as we keep moving. So you don't want to be the smartest person in that room. And you want, and then once you are the smartest person in that room, it's time to get into a different room. All right. And then lastly, the shining object syndrome. All right. I have to say I have that, but you want to attack one goal, one plan at a time. Okay. So that's just a quick, you know, some things that I've learned over the years. And I'm glad I read that out loud because it's a couple things I got to remember. All right. So, all right. So the last portion is we're going to talk about residual income. I know myself, Maupin, Michael Bush, Eddie, and we've done, you know, with the residual income side of things. Even in my wholesaling business, I'm working on with the utilities and the alarm systems and my buyers, and they're getting into the business with me, other wholesalers, and you know, we're creating a massive team here.